Well, performances of live music were stopped abruptly on the 23rd of March, leaving musicians, fans and venues not knowing when they'd be back in business again. Last week, 1,500 musicians, including Ed Sheeran and Sir Paul McCartney, signed an open letter calling for emergency support. Our correspondent, Colleen Harris, has been speaking to some in the industry about what they need.
Right words at the right time.
Some of Britain's biggest stars performing in lockdown, not just to keep spirits up, but with no live venues. Even singer-songwriter Sophie Ellis Bextor has been entertaining from home with her kitchen discos.
Whisper softly to me. What child whispers softly? Not mine.
She says live venues have been sorely missed and their closure has been devastating for the industry.
Hearing about this massive amount of money going to the arts initially sounds really exciting. It's got a lot of places it's got to be spread amongst. So I think if I was someone who'd worked in sound and I was dependent on touring, I don't know how reassured I'd be feeling right now.
Concerts, gigs and tours all ground to a halt and will take time to recover.
What sort of impact is it having on people in the industry?
They feel like they're in free fall, actually. I think, I'm friends with loads of them on Facebook and I see them saying they're scared, they're angry, they feel like there's no guidelines, no plan. Everything else is getting back to normal, pubs are reopening and sporting events and all this, and there's sort of been no talk really about the live music world.
For Boyzone's Ronan Keating, it's meant rescheduling tour dates to next year, but he welcomes today's news.
Yeah, it's a big step. It's a really big step. Live venues and the crews, all of these people in the music industry, behind the scenes, they're the people that really need the support and they haven't had that support yet. So that's why this is so important right now.
This is what performing on stage looks like now, standing a metre apart with no audience and filmed for online viewing. Industry lobby group UK Music says it wants to know when venues can reopen without social distancing. Bush Hall in London has been relying on crowdfunding to stay open, but says it's vital government support reaches grassroots.
It's needed, and I can't believe it wasn't done before, to be honest. Arts and music are part of our culture. So how they've let it go this long, I'm not sure why they've done that, but it's amazing that they have done it.
For up-and-coming artists like cellist and singer-songwriter Ayanna Witter-Johnson, music is a full-time career. Live work has dried up, but how quickly the industry gets back on its feet is a pressing issue.
All the shows promoting my debut album have just been either postponed indefinitely or cancelled because the venues can't stay open or the festivals don't know how they'll be funded. Venues do need to reopen, and I'm really shocked to see that 90% of grassroots venues might just close entirely. So there's a lot that needs to be done to make sure they stay open.
Today's announcement is a welcome headline, but whether it will breathe new life into a hurting music industry is too early to say. Colleen Harris, BBC News.